Good morning, welcome to Headline Focus, here live on Core Politics with me, Rob Double. It is Thursday the 19th of October 2017 and let's have a look at what's making the headlines. So to start off with the Daily Mail, there's to be a new bank fraud headline created. This is being developed by ministers, police and financial chiefs. The aim of this is to alert banks to illegal money transfers and help crack down on scams, so fraud and all bank scams and money scams which are going on. Pretty significant deal. UK Finance, which is an industry body, says that customers have lost over £366 million between them in this first half of the year alone, so the first half of 2017 alone. And so the Mail is leading there with dial 555, assuming therefore that 555 would be the number of the hotline. Next up in the Times, FA blackmail. Now this is in quite a lot of the papers as well. There's been calls for the Football Association, the FA's chiefs, to resign. And this is after Chief Executive Martin Glenn was accused of behaviour bordering on blackmail by former England player Eni Aluko. She had made complaints of racial remarks by former manager Mark Sampson, and those complaints were not taken up and investigated to a sufficient and acceptable amount. This follows a day of evidence before the Digital Culture and Sport and Media Committee yesterday. Have a look at The Guardian if you're interested in finding out more. But also there's a lot in all the other papers as well. Let's have a look in focus at the main story, which comes from the FT and the I today, very much following a financial line. Now, we had some important figures out yesterday to do with finances. Have a look at the papers yesterday, or the headlines from that yesterday. But the keynote from the FT today is that half of all adults in the UK are financially vulnerable. Now, what do they mean by that? They basically mean that millions are failing to pay bills or resorting to borrowing from friends and family to make ends meet. And this is warnings from the UK financial watchdog, the Financial Conduct Authority, based on a report of a survey of 13,000 adults conducted between January and April of this year, 2017. The Eye, continuing from what we reported on yesterday, actually, if you have a look at yesterday's headline focus, of up to 15 million British adults not paying into a pension. Why is this important? Well, as the headline says, millions of Britons facing pensions poverty, as they would not have the money to actually pay for their means when they are older, but also people may be forced to work until a very old age in order to keep an income, in order to keep on paying their bills. One more story then comes, of course, from Brexit. Now, the meeting of the European Council is scheduled for today and tomorrow. That's, of course, all the EU heads of state and presidents and prime ministers coming together. And one of the things they're going to be discussing is Brexit. Now, the Daily Telegraph leads with May urged to walk out if EU won't talk trade. Now, this is an open letter from pro-Leave MPs, including some former ministers, I should say, basically urging Theresa May to walk away from the EU if leaders do not agree to trade talks at this critical summit. So at this summit, they're going to be talking and deciding whether there has been sufficient progress in the Brexit negotiations so far to start now talking about the future arrangements, specifically a free trade deal between the UK and the EU come March 2019. All indications are, I should say, that there is going to be no sufficient progress. The leaders are going to deem that there hasn't been enough progress for future arrangement and free trade arrangement talks to begin. However, we wait, for the government in particular, they wait in hope that mark will be met and we can start negotiating the future arrangements. But that's pretty much it. You're up to date. Don't forget you can find all the latest on what we're doing here on Core Politics on our Facebook page and on Twitter right here. But from me, Rob Double, and all the team here at Core London, have a fantastic Thursday.